know me, like if someone invited you, I am Lisa Lloyd, hopefully your Pampered Chef consultant. And I want to thank you guys for joining us for my first official stoneware workshop. A couple motivations for this is one, I hear from people sometimes, oh, I bought a stone and it's still in the box, or I don't use my stone as much as I should. And then we have people that just love their stoneware and they want to just get more ideas. So the goal, like at all of my parties, events, workshops, is that you learn something new and then you have a little fun. Now, granted, we're not together, so if fun means, just listening to me, then that's fine. Just, grab a beverage, sit back and relax. And again, for those of you who are listening live, if you have background noise, just mute. But I will have you ask you guys a few questions as we kind of go along. And if you could put in the chat that you joined tonight, in case I don't get a chance to see everybody, and what your favorite stone is, that would be fabulous. Because I'm going to be doing a couple little drawings. So here we go. Anyways, okay. So, and I'm using notes because I don't want to forget anything. So first of all, stoneware's actually been, Pampered Chef stoneware's actually been around since the beginning of the, since Pampered Chef started, and I don't know if you guys saw, but the very first kitchen show, oh my gosh, was was 42 years ago on Friday. So October 15th, 1980 was the very first kitchen show. And what she did was she took a frozen pizza, she put it on a pizza stone, she cut up some veggies, she popped it in the oven, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. And the rest is history. So, but as you know, stoneware is not just for pizza, but that's the first thing we all think of, right, is pizza. So how many of you don't own any stoneware? So if you don't own any stoneware, just unmute and say, I don't own anything. I don't think anybody on here qualifies for that. Okay. So now how many of you own like one or two pieces?
Liz, I do.
Okay, so Liz, I think Cindy, Chrissy. Now, where are my groupies? You own like 3 or more. Any groupies on here? I know my friend Lori's here. She might have hopped off. Anyways, okay.
I'm back on. Yes, I have resilience.
She's a groupie. She owns 3 or 4. So, okay. So for those of you, as we're sharing, so that cook on stoneware, you can just shout it out. What is one thing you love about cooking on your stone? Why do you love it? Just shout out one thing if you are comfortable. Now you're all quiet.
I like the way it browns.
Who said that?
Liz.
Liz, yes, it browns evenly on the top and the bottom. Everything comes out nice and crispy.
I love that my bread pops right out of the stone.
Yes, so when you flip over that loaf pan, boom, it comes out and it's everything, there's no sticking, it's super easy cleanup, so nothing sticks. And I know Cindy shared she's been using her stone since she got it recently. Cindy, what do you love about your stoneware?
Everything cooks great in it. It's like I cook everything in it. I cook my fish, my chicken, my vegetables. Yeah, I love it.
Awesome. So browning, cooks evenly, you can cook everything. I hear everything tastes better, actually using your stoneware if you don't like to cook or hate to cook, it actually makes you a better cook by cooking on your stoneware, because everything tastes better cooked on a stone, I swear. And the other nice thing is when you cook in your stone, things stay warmer longer. So if you take something out of the oven, it's gonna stay nice and hot. And then my other feature that I personally love is the easy cleanup. And we'll talk about how to clean your stone in a little bit. So all great things. So it sounds like you guys, and based on your favorites, I heard earlier that, as you know, stones come in all different shapes and sizes. So a couple of things about stoneware you guys might not know is that it's actually all our stoneware is, I'm going to use this guy as my example most of the night. All our stoneware is made from a natural clay, and it is made in the US, which is fantastic. So it is fired at over 2,000 degrees. So each piece is a little bit unique because each piece is individually fired. So the size of the kiln is like a football field. We used to have 2 kilns, and when we came out with the Stone Fusion a couple of years ago, they added a 3rd kiln. So we actually have 3 kilns that our company that makes the stoneware uses to make the stoneware specifically for us. And they're huge. I can't even imagine how much stoneware they process out in a day. That would be a good fun fact, but I don't have that. So now stoneware is non-porous. So what that means is it doesn't retain your flavor, any flavor or smell. So Cindy shared that she cooks fish on it. Well, so if you cook fish on something, typically that whatever you're cooking on will smell like fish. You could literally, I used to cook a piece of fish on this stone, not this one, because you can see this one's not as seasoned. That one broke. And then I would wash it, and then later that night I would put 6 little chocolate chip cookies on here, pop it in the oven. Now I could pop it in the air fryer, take it out, and I could do fish and chocolate chip cookies all in the same day on the same stone. And I swear to God, my cookies did not taste like fish. I love fish on the stone because I used to dry fish out all the time. You leave it in 30 seconds too long, forget about it, but it never dries out when you cook it on the stone. So if you're a fish lover and you haven't tried fish on your stone, I challenge you to give that a go. So the way stoneware works is, why does it make everything taste so good? Well, it draws the moisture out of the food and into the stone. So the stone, so it sort of like acts almost like a pizza oven where the food is kind of cooking all around, and the inside of your food stays nice and juicy or airy or moist, and then the outside of your food stays nice and crispy, which is great. So my favorite thing to talk about is if you do cookies on your stone, the only way to burn a cookie on your stone is if the top is burnt, then the whole thing is burnt. So it cooks evenly on the top and the bottom. So you're never going to burn your cookies because you'll know, because they're going to cook evenly on all sides, which is great. The other great thing is if you do a lot of frozen foods like French fries or chicken nuggets, or I do roasted vegetables. I'm actually going to throw some in a second. You don't have to flip them. That is how many of you guys hate flipping? You open the oven, the steam's coming out, you stick your head in there, you're like flipping. I burn myself, it's crazy. So no flipping involved. It's even top and bottom. So that's the other great thing, especially when you're doing potatoes or anything that's frozen, that makes it nice and easy. So when I was new, when we're new, we tell our consultants to ask the audience. So I asked the audience, what's your favorite thing about stoneware? And everybody said, reheat Chinese food. So if you eat Chinese food and you haven't, I also challenge you to try that, like your crab rangoon, even your fried rice, throw on there, pop it in your oven or microwave. Delicious. I heard somebody. Did somebody say, oh, yes?
Lisa, reheating seafood or fried foods are fantastic. It
Yes.
is like, it draws out the fat and it just tastes so wonderful. It's like
Right.
amazing.
And it's not soggy. Like, who wants to eat like leftover fried clams from the microwave? Blech. Or pizza, right? So anything leftover, throw in your stone, pop it in the oven, pop it in your air fryer, or if you have a toaster oven, pop it in there, and it'll be like you just had it for the first time. It actually will probably be better. Okay, so all right, so we have 3 kinds of stoneware. So our first stones are fully unglazed stones. So I unfortunately, this, believe it or not, is my most seasoned stone because I had an incident a few years ago. It was very traumatic. This is my favorite stone, my bar can. But you can see the bottom is actually seasoned a lot. But so our unglazed stones are great, are sort of like your everyday stone. I actually use my bar pan several times a week. This I feel is the most versatile stone, in my opinion, and every consultant has a different opinion. If you're gonna start with one stone, I would start with this because it has sides and you can make a rectangle pizza. So because it has sides, I can do pizza on this. I can do roasted veggies. I did a sheet pan meal yesterday. I can make brownies in here. I do my bacon on this. So bacon comes out fantastic. Actually, that's one of the best ways to season the stone. And as you can see, as you use your stone, it's going to develop a nice dark non-stick surface. And this is super smooth because I use this one all the time. Okay, so our unglazed stone is made with our Stone Fusion, and it has a couple features that if you're a stoneware owner from a few years back or way back, you'll be like, what is that? So our new unglazed stones, in addition to oven safe, microwave safe, fridge and freezer safe, can also now be preheated. They can go under the broiler, which is great. Say if you're doing something that you want to broil, like some nice cheese on the top. And finally, you can put them in the dishwasher. I know that sounds weird. I personally don't put mine in the dishwasher only because I want mine to season quicker because I like them seasoned. And so it takes a little longer to season your stones if you put them in the dishwasher. But if that doesn't bother you and you're like, hey, my husband likes to throw everything in the dishwasher, or I want the kids to throw everything in the dishwasher, this is perfect for you because you can throw it right in the dishwasher. If you're curious, hey, what if I'm not sure if I have my old stone or new stone, see this wavy pattern on the bottom? This is Stone Fusion. So that means that this piece can go in the broiler, be preheated, so that it gets nice and hot before you put your food on, and go in the dishwasher. So that, just look for this wave pattern. So this guy can fit in, this is the small bar pan, this can fit in your oven. This is also great starter stone. And it fits in our air fryer. So you can use this in our air fryer. I'm gonna put this guy aside. Actually, oh no, I'm gonna use something else. So for unglazed, we have loaf pans, bar pans, and the pizza stone. I do not have an unglazed pizza stone because I have other pizza stones and I don't need 200 pizza stones. And I actually make rectangle pizza. I use my pizza stones for other things. I do own 2 loaf pans. This guy is not as seasoned. So that's the information, that's what we know about unglazed stones. So the second kind of stoneware we have is partially glazed. Now we just we've just added a few partially glazed stones to our collection. So this is the large pizza stone. Again, the nice thing about this is it's partially glazed, so it's great for oven to table. Now tonight, I'm actually gonna cook my, I wanna roast up some butternut squash for a salad that I'm making. So I just mixed my butternut squash with oil, and then I added this savory maple seasoning I had from my taste buds from last season. Now, one tip, I know you guys can't see my stone, but I'm gonna show you in a minute. One tip you wanna keep in mind when using stoneware, and this is really, really important, is you want your stone to be, the use and care says 2/3 covered. I strongly recommend 3/4 covered. Why is that, you ask, Lisa? Well, let me tell you. When your stone cooks, the heat is going to radiate to where the food is, so your food cooks evenly. Imagine if you had a little tiny pork chop in the middle of a big pizza stone. What do you think might happen?
It'll dry it out.
Not
Dry it out.
dry it out. What do you think might happen to your stone?
Oh.
Probably like crack.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about ways to prevent that in thermal shock in a minute, but that's why you want to keep your stones 3/4 covered. So think about like how much food you have versus, like I cut my squash. I was going to cook it on my bar pan. I'm like, ooh, I don't have enough squash. What do I have that's a little bit smaller? So I'm putting it on my pizza stone. Plus I need to season this guy. I haven't seasoned it yet. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to set that for 20 minutes or so, and then we're good to go. So another thing you might use that round stone with handles for is baked brie, nachos, a cookie pizza. I did this awesome, Michelle was at my house. I
Yeah.
did this awesome banana bread. This recipe I'll share. I'm going to share a recipe book when we're done. It's a banana bread meets a chocolate chip cookie, but it's like a bar cookie. But again, because it has a nice lip, you can do it in your bar pan. You could do it on the round stone. A lip is nice because anything that's going to ooze over or have a sauce isn't going to fall over the side.
Are you able
So
to walk better?
that gives you a lot of flexibility. Did someone have a question? Oh, Kathy, can you mute?
I look at it, it's still black and blue, Kathy, so I probably broke it.
I'm just, all right, perfect. Sorry about that. Okay, so unglazed. So the nice thing about the glazed, partially glazed, is it's great from oven to table. So if you're entertaining, it's a nice transition. You don't need that transition piece. I mean, how many of us like cook in a cookie sheet, then put it onto a platter when we're done? Well, I don't want to do that many dishes. I hate dishes. So I like to, as less amount of dishes as possible is what's good for me. So this is our brand new pie plate. Besides pie, what do you think you could make in a pie? And don't say quiche, because that's like a pie. What else could you cook in a pie dish, do you think? Hot dip.
Oh,
Put
yeah.
2 pieces hot dip. You can put 2 pieces. If you're just a small household, put 2 pieces of chicken in here. You could do a pork tenderloin in here because it just kind of turns like one of those thin ones. I mean, get creative. Use the stones you have to kind of figure out what you need, what different sizes. might work. You could do roasted potatoes in there, all sorts of great stuff like that. And then the last new glazed stone we have is the 9x13 baker. This guy. And I think Christy was talking, she has a pan that's this size, and she was sharing that she doesn't use it that much. So things you might cook in here are, you can make a cake, roast a chicken, any kind of roast. Meats come out great because, again, the food stays nice and moist and juicy, and then it doesn't dry out. Pork tenderloin, lasagna. This is like gorgeous for lasagna because, again, you don't get, when you do lasagna in like a metal pan or a glass pan, the edges get really super crispy, but the middle isn't. And this gives you nice, even cooking. Any kind of casserole. So if you're a casserole person, 9x13 is a great size for you. Now our new one comes with this optional tray, so you could cook on this and the 9x13 at the same time, side by side or on top of each other. This is not a lid for cooking. It's a lid to keep things hot or to use side by side. This could be used as a tray, you don't even have to cook on it. Just a beautiful tray for like fruit and cheese and or fancy desserts or things like that. So that is that. And then the other glazed stones we have, and after the party, we'll call this a party. After the class, I'm going to post in the event, and I'll post it in my VIP group, a little chart that tells you about all our different stones, what temperatures they go up to, and you can use that as sort of a guide if you have multiples, so that way it doesn't get confusing. The last unglazed piece that I want to share with you is the deep covered baker. Does anybody have this?
No.
Okay, so if you like to get dinner on the table fast, if you like to use your microwave, then this is awesome. And this comes in a family size, and then we also have a mini, I call like an individual, like a small family size. So this is a baker with a lid. So the most famous thing we used to make in this at parties was chicken fajitas in 15 minutes. And I swear to you, if any of you had it, shout it out. The chicken was not dry. I promise. It was unbelievable. Shocker every time. And then a 10-minute lava cake where you put in a chocolate cake, you put frosting on top or peanut butter, you pop it in your microwave for 10 minutes, and then you have instant lava cake for the kids or you or your family, or if you're having company over. Was unbelievable. Pasta will whip up in 12 minutes. You come home from work, throw a box of pasta, a carton of chicken broth, pop it in the microwave for 12 minutes. In the meantime, grab some leftover chicken, whatever vegetables you have, chop them up, throw it in there, like 3 minutes before it's done, mix it all up, add some grated cheese, and you have dinner. Like easy peasy, easy peasy. You can cook this use this also in the oven. So if you want to do an all day roast, this works great. And before I also use this to make bread in the oven. So I'll mix up I've been trying to make bread once a week. So I mix up my dough, I put it in here, pop it in the oven for half an hour, and I have delicious bread. One year I made bread on Halloween. My son comes in from trick-or-treating, he goes, "What's that smell?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Did you make bread?" dumps the candy, just comes in for bread because he's, I don't want candy, Mom. I want a piece of bread, butter. Loved it. So nothing beats homemade bread. Soups, stews, all different sorts of things. So we have a size for every need. Finally, the last style of stoneware is the glazed pieces, and these are fully glazed. Okay, so the fully glazed pieces can also go in the dishwasher. The gray cannot, the new white ones can. That's why I'm going to send you that chart so you don't have to think about it. These are glazed all around. They still are made of natural clay. They still cook like stoneware. I like these for entertaining, whether it's just as platters. These are my only platters now, but also for cooking. If you're making appetizers, isn't it much easier to throw your appetizer in here, pop them in the oven, when they're ready, take them out with a hot pad, of course, serve them up right from here instead of transferring from a cookie sheet to a platter, where then you have the then you have all these cookie sheets like hanging around before your company comes. You're like, where am I putting those? You like throw them in, you know, throw them in the oven or throw them somewhere where nobody can see them. Makes entertaining much, much easier. I didn't grab the bowl, but we also have 2 bowls and you can cook in those as well. So with all of that, you guys are probably wondering, oh my gosh, if I wanted to add more, how do I know what's going to work in my house? So a couple of things. Earlier we chatted about how you want to distribute, I'll use this as an example, how you want to distribute your food evenly. So stoneware is durable, but it's not indestructible. Obviously, if you drop it, it could break. It has a 3-year warranty. So if your stone breaks, you want to stop, take a picture, call me, say, Lisa, my stone broke. Can you check if it's under warranty? If it's under warranty, we'll replace it. You just send me the picture and we're good to go. Now, thermal shock is kind of what I was talking about before. You don't want to take something really like frozen and put it on a hot stone, because that drastic change in temperature could cause it to crack. Another reason for stones cracking could be that uneven distribution of heat. So the heat is going to radiate to where your food is. So if you have like a little piece of food right here and the rest is empty, the heat is going to gravitate towards there and it could cause it to crack. So you just want to make sure your food is evenly spread out to avoid that. Obviously things happen, they're naturally fired, but they are under warranty, and Pampered Chef will replace them. If any of you have had to experience that, you know that that's something that they stand by. All right. How do I season my stone? Let's go back to my bar pan. So my bar pan is probably my most seasoned stone that I have currently. That's not, I have other stones that are seasoned, but they're not currently in the line, so I don't want to tease you with them. So you want to cook something high in fat. So if you're new to stoneware, or if your stoneware isn't seasoned, so for example, Christy's new to stoneware, she's going to season her roaster. So you want to cook something that's higher in fat, like you could maybe make cinnamon rolls in there. You could roast a chicken, because the juice and the grease from the chicken is going to naturally season the stone. If you, what I recommend is, if you're not cooking something higher in fat, that you brush it lightly with oil. It doesn't have to be like drizzled a ton. Just brush lightly with the basting brush, or pour a little on, rub it with a paper towel so that it's covered, and that's going to help naturally season your stone. If you have the bar pan or anything with a lip, I recommend, and you eat bacon, that is the best way to season your stone and the fastest, because bacon comes out fantastic. 425 for 20 minutes. You don't even need to flip it. It's amazing. Amazing. If you've ever made bacon in the stone, you can just shout it out. If you haven't and are like, oh my God, I gotta try bacon this weekend. We only do it on the bar pan in the weekend. So that's a great way to season your stone, and it'll develop you want it to be dark. The darker it looks, the better it cooks. And that also, then you also, as it becomes darker, it also becomes naturally non-stick, so you don't have to use as much oil as well. I do recommend, and Lori, you can correct me if you felt differently, if you're still on, is I typically always oil my loaf pan because I'm always afraid my bread isn't going to pop out, but that's just me. So
I do unless it's a well-seasoned one, and then I don't.
yeah, because I get nervous with the loaf pan. That's just me.
I know, but it's
Lori,
amazing.
can you show us, see how beautiful Lori's stone is?
I have to say, this was the first Pampered Chef piece I ever bought. I was 24, and I am still using the same piece. So as far as that 3-year warranty, I'm 63 and I'm still using the same stone. I think I've earned every bit of that money I invested.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and as far as the loaf pans, I have had no problem. If I'm at all nervous, I just take my mini spatula along the edge right before I flip it, and they pop out. But
Yes.
I really didn't need to do that. It's sort of like just in case.
Yeah, it's a little habit we have, but yeah, so just it really, yeah, so that's how to season it. A lot of people ask me that. Now you've heard me mention these I want to talk about things you can make on your stone, but I've kind of talked about this all night long, like weaving through. But a lot of people, when they think of stoneware, they think of pizza, but it's so much more than pizza. For example, on my bar pan, I roast veggies, I do pizza, I do sheet pan meals, I do fish, I do chicken, I do pork, I do desserts. I made a birthday cake once in one. Anything you would cook on a regular metal or glass pan, you can cook in a stone and you have better results. The other nice thing, and I will send you guys recipes for different ones, but the other nice thing about the Pampered Chef website, so if you have the bar pan, for example, you can just go to our website, type bar pan, and get some new recipes for your bar pan. Or you can go and type, roasting pan or 9x13 baker, and it will give you different recipes for your baker. Like cinnamon rolls come out great because they puff up, but they're a little, crispy on the bottom, and that's all like yummy and delicious. Pasta dishes, any kind of casserole. Lori was making mac and cheese is so good. What are some of my other favorites that I mentioned? Nachos, I love. Anything breaded, dessert, and I love fish on my stone. I don't cook fish in anything else. All right, so how do you pick the stone that's best for you? When I did live parties, this would come up all the time. Think about what you cook every day. I'm not a casserole person, so my 9x13 baker is not really seasoned because I don't use it a lot, because I don't make roasts and casseroles and stuff like that. But I make pizza, I do sheet pan meals, I roast veggies, so I use the bar pan a lot. If your family eats a lot of pizza or dinner rolls or frozen nuggets and French fries, then maybe the pizza stone is the best place to start. If you do a lot of roasts or family meals, or lasagnas, mac and cheese, any kind of casserole, then the 9x13 might be a great size for you to start with. So think about how you cook, and if you're still like, and you're interested in adding and you're still stuck, then talk to me and we can kind of figure out what the best stone and size is for you, because sometimes like my mom is a house of one, so the large bar pan is way too big for her because she just cooks for herself, but she has 2 mediums and she uses them all the time. Like she'll do a few things at a time. So she's got her chicken going on her medium, and then she puts 2 baked potatoes on the little one, pops them in the microwave for 5 minutes to get them kind of ready, like a little bit cooked. Then she pops them in the oven next to her chicken. And so she's got her 2 different size stones going at the same time. And that works for her because she's making 2 different meals, one for tonight and one for tomorrow. So, a house of one might not need a big stone, but if you have a big family, you might be like, oh, I need a bigger stone because I have more people to feed, or we love leftovers, so we want to have more for tomorrow. So I hope that helps.
Lisa,
Okay.
do you have something cooking on your stove?
I have something in my oven.
Oh, okay. I just see steam coming up. I just
Oh,
wanted to
but
make sure
it's
it was
in
okay.
20 minutes. So Carla, thank you. Oh, awesome. So like you guys can see, so here's my squash. Can you hear it? Sizzling.
Yeah.
Ooh, it smells really good.
Yeah, it looks good.
I don't know if it's done. Oh no, it's not. It still needs a few minutes. It wasn't soft enough, but thank you. So I'm not even gonna flip that. It's just gonna brown all over. I have that set to 400 and I'm just cooking it because I'm making like a fall salad for the rest of the week for myself. How do we clean our stone? You heard that some stones can go in the dishwasher. If you have been hesitant to try stoneware because you heard that you can't use soap, don't fret. So how do we clean our stone? So if your stone can go in the dishwasher, you can just rinse it off and pop it in the dishwasher. If you don't want to wash your stone in the dishwasher, or if you have a stone that's not dishwasher safe, what you want to do is you want to let it cool. You want to scrape it with hot water, and you're going to get this beautiful little scraper. They're now blue. So beautiful. And the nice thing about these scrapers is the edge kind of curve to the stone, so you can really get in all the nooks and crannies, which is great. If you don't have an updated scraper, let me know. And then again, no soap. If you have a little bit of stubbornness happening, like maybe you did potatoes, or when I cook bacon, my stone does feel a little greasy. So what I do is I keep a sugar shaker filled with baking soda next to my sink. Make sure you write baking soda on so as not to put it on your favorite desserts. And then I sprinkle a little on my stone. It's going to absorb any extra grease out. Again, I use my scraper, rinse it off, and it's nice and smooth. So easy peasy. Baking soda acts as a cleaning agent, a natural cleaning agent, so it's naturally going to clean your stone. When you heat the stone up, it gets hot enough to kill any bacteria, so don't stress out about that at all. Don't stress. Okay. Anybody have any questions? You guys can unmute. Anything I didn't cover with stoneware? Did anyone get some new ideas? Maybe they're like, oh, I need an idea for this.
Well, one thing I forgot is that I had that glazed platter and I've never used it. So I'm going to have to start using it.
Okay, Carla, what, do you remember what size do you have? Do you have the large or the medium?
I think it's the large.
Okay, so treat it like you would, the large bar pan. It's similar to that. So I might, you could do like a chicken with vegetables on it, like a sheet pan meal on there. So something that's going to take up the entire stone itself.
Actually, you know what? Maybe it's a medium because I don't think it's the size of like
The bar pan.
the bar pan. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think it's that large.
If
So
you
it's like-
measure it, I can tell you what size it is. If you measure it and message me, I can tell you what size. That way you kind of know what to cover with it. But I'd start with a vegetable or something like that. Asparagus comes out great on the stone. Roasted vegetables is like my favorite thing to make on the stone. Yeah, so give it a try. Christy, did you get some fresh ideas? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I did. I'm still contemplating what to try first, but
All
I
right.
have some ideas now.
All right. I might, we can text and you can share with me what your family likes to eat maybe. And then I can maybe give you a few suggestions
Okay,
if that helps. Would that be helpful?
it might.
All right, cool. Anyone else have other questions that I haven't covered before I kind of do a little wrap up?
Mm-mm.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. I'm actually going to send a little survey out, and takes like a few minutes, and it's like, how was the show? What did you learn? What else do you want to see? That kind of stuff. And then I will send you a little recipe book. That may take a few days. I'm still working on adding a few more recipes based on some of the feedback. And then, so the other thing I wanted to share is that, I forgot one thing. You guys, I'm gonna leave and come back. Okay. Sorry. So you probably saw that Pampered Chef is having a sale on Stoneware in the month of October. So if you are interested in adding unglazed pieces to your kitchen, it is a great time to do that because all of our unglazed pieces are 15% off. So for example, say you wanted to add the loaf pan. Instead of $35, it would be $30, and it would be $29. Say you wanted to add a pizza stone. Normally it's $50, it would be $42. So that's a great deal. If you're just a shopper and you want to add stoneware to your kitchen, I'll have a party link open for that. I'm going to do it as a, so now the second thing is we also have stoneware. All of our stoneware is on sale for hostesses in the month of October, whether you do a live party or virtual. You can still do either. And you can get up to 2 pieces at 60% off any of the stones in the catalog. So say, for example, you wanted to add the pie plate, you could add the pie plate for $20. Say you wanted to add that 3-piece stoneware starter set, which actually makes great, you could split it up into 3 gifts for the holidays. Give one person a pizza stone, one person a bar pan, and keep the loaf pan for yourself. You get all 3 pieces for $38. That's like $13 a stone. That's 3
Wow.
gifts for $13. And that's just online party, live party, or pass the catalog around, collect $200, and you can participate in that as well. So any of those things interest you, let me know. We'll figure out how to make that happen. I make it super easy. And that sale includes glazed, unglazed, all of that. And then the third option is anybody that joins this month can earn all of our new white pieces for free. And in the month of October, we have a $25 kit, which is awesome. So it's great for people that are seasoned consultants, seasoned pampered chefers, which I think a lot of you are. If you have a lot of product in your kitchen, you can start for just with just paperwork and a website, a few products, and you can be earning extra money for the holidays. You can earn some product for your kitchen. And if you're like, ooh, this is not for me, I can say, okay, no problem. And we can still be friends. So those are all the benefits of Stoneware, in addition to all the fun ways you can cook on them. So again, I want to thank you guys for participating. I'm going to do a couple raffles. I'll probably do them in the morning because my brain is usually foggy at night and I like to make sure I don't leave anybody out. If you're watching this as a replay, send me a message and let me know. I will post the survey so you guys can take a minute to fill that out. I really appreciate feedback because I missed the face-to-face. I'm trying to do more of that, but I know that this type of venue is great as well for my friends and fans that live far and can't come to me personally, or I can't get to them. And I think finally, I want to see what you're cooking on your stone. So post in Lisa's Tasty Tidbits your stone successes. If you've used a stone that you haven't used in a while, I want to see it. Take it out of the box because I love seeing your products in action. It makes me so happy. So thank you so much and have a great night. I'm going to stop recording, but if you have questions, you can ask me.